grenade. Dude, I don't want to kill you live on camera, but I will. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to Clapped Out. What is going on, everybody? We're on this guy today. It is back, heel face, the Drag Week Mustang. This is my 1994 Mustang with saucy turbo goodness underneath the hood, LS power, every Ford fanboy's favorite. What are we doing today? Well, the last time you saw this car, we went 858 at 161 miles an hour out at Drag Week, and we have made some kind of substantial changes as well as some improvements in our data acquisition capabilities. And I love me some data because I always like to see where I can improve on stuff. And I've been combing over the data on this thing since Drag Week, and there's one thing that kind of concerned me. This. We saw a 15 to 18 psi pressure drop of fuel pressure. That's a redundant statement right there, is it not? By the end of the run, as this thing got into third gear and really started to get its stride on and make some power, the fuel pressure started to drop and closed loop compensation started to pick up. Meaning, shout out to these guys, Holley EFI, that Terminator X Max system probably saved this motor. As the fuel pressure dropped, you can see the compensation go up, adding additional fuel, opening the injectors longer in order to deliver more fuel to the motor to save its ass. The target air fuel and the air fuel ratios barely wiggled away from each other, like they stayed flat across the entirety of the pass, allowing this car to live to see another day and saving my bank account. So how am I going to prevent that from being an issue? Well, I've done a couple of things here. One is out of this. After talking with my homie John Dotson, Drag Week veteran, that is his early 80s Malibu. It's done 3 years worth of Drag Week competition in addition to other track passes, and he has not so much as removed a valve cover off of it. And I figured, well, he's got somewhat of a successful program. I should probably listen. Please, teach me, Obi-Wan. So after a phone call with him, I decided to kind of take a page out of his book, and we've added methanol injection to the car. This is a system that I kind of had laying around. I had a reservoir, I had a pump, and I had some nozzles. These are 9 gallon per hour nozzles. I'm probably going to put some 12 or 15s in here to up the flow a little bit. That's going to do 2 things. One, it'll supplement the fuel system a little bit, but that's not the primary reason I put it on here. I put it on here because the intake temperatures on this thing have been getting a little bit spicy. And I'm talking hotter than Logan's beehole after a wing night down at B-Dubs. This thing was seeing 200-degree plus intake temperatures, and that is not exactly where you want to live and operate. Now, I wasn't sure what the inefficiency was. Was it the inlet air system, the turbo, was it the intercooler? I have no idea. So I changed everything up here. I changed that. The only thing that still remains is the intercooler and the charge pipe on that side. Now, Drag Week this year, we didn't really run that much boost through it. We saw about 170-degree temperatures, but regardless of that fact, we are still going to press a whole bunch of up arrow on this thing, and I know it's going to get hot again, so I added the methanol. So it's going to provide a little bit of fuel compensation, plus take all of the temperature out of the air charge. All good things, all great. That is triggered through the Holley Terminator system. Yes, the Holley Terminator X system is very, very limited on the amount of inputs and outputs. You got 4 and 4. And pretty much installing it on this car, I used all of them right off the bat. Now, I was able to free up one output in order to control the methanol, and I did so by taking the fan control away from there, and we put it on a mechanical switch. That switch will come on at 200 degrees and shut off at 185, and wired it straight directly to the relay. Now, that switch was so cheap, and I don't trust anything, I was able to buy more than one. So I have literally carry a spare in the car if I ever get stranded on the side of the road. Not a big deal. And in addition, if that switch does fail and I catch the temperature increasing on the dash, well, I can do this. So because of the limited inputs and outputs on here, I went ahead and picked up the 7.5-inch screen. This is not the new 6.8 Pro screen. And I also picked up the additional input and output harness. What that does for you is it lets you add up to 10 more additional I/O input output. So I took one of them and I made it a fan switch. So we have a mechanical fan switch underneath the hood that kicks the fan on automatically, and if that fails, or if I just want to cool the car down in the pits, I can do it electronically right off the dash. Additional inputs that I've added to that are this. Those are 100 psi pressure transducer and a manifold air temperature sending unit. So now I have the ability to see what the inlet air temperature is before the intercooler, as well as the pressure, as well as coming out of the intercooler. So now I can tell if my intercooler is a restriction, which is a distinct possibility because this is a CX Racing eBay special. Now, in the event that I do discover that is a choke point, I got this. And as you can tell, it's seen better days. This came off of my buddy Shelton's car. Him and his car had a play date together with a retaining wall at the track. Now, I have a TIG welder over there, so I have the ability to hopefully, well, the TIG welder machine has the ability. I don't know if I do. Cut that end tank off, build a new one, and fit it to the car. It just needs to get cleaned up a little bit, but as you can see, that's a much bigger core, and it's actually a much higher quality core. All of those changes should give me a little bit more room to grow with the combination. Now, I'm not relying on the methanol injection to be the sole provider of additional fuel. So up until now, the MagnaFuel 4303 pump you see right here has been the primary source of fuel when for me going down the track. We're going to supplement that with an intake pump right here. This is a Walbro 450 inside of here. Previously, I used to just run this on the street. Now I'm going to wire it so they both run simultaneously under power. The MagnaFuel 4303 pump is a great pump in my opinion, and I was a little bit naive when I purchased it, and also I didn't really expect a car to get quite to this level at the time either, but I thought that would be the last fuel pump that I ever need. When you look at the website, it says that pump is rated to 2,000 horsepower. That's a little bit misleading in my opinion. It's not a total fabrication because they're talking about 2,000 horsepower, naturally aspirated, carbureted, 16 volts on gasoline. We are turbocharged, fuel injected, E85 on 12 volts. Every single one of those four things that I just mentioned is going to drop that horsepower rating down a little bit at a time. And when you work out the math on what this car is currently running for its weight, 161 miles an hour at 3,400 pounds with me in it, well, then you can start to see that, yeah, we're out of fuel pump. So utilizing the Holley system, it's going to trigger the methanol at 5 pounds. And then I'm also going to have it trigger and bring in the big MagnaFuel pump at 5 pounds. I'm going to run this little guy right here as the primary pump full time because that'll keep the fuel temperatures down all the time. So all I have to do now is just run one more wire from the front of the car to the back of the car, and we're going to load up, fuel up, and hit the road and drive down to Coastal Plains Dragway down in Jacksonville, North Carolina. And we're going to see if any of these changes help this thing out. All right, we're rolling, about halfway there. Situation report, temperatures and pressures are looking good as ever. Man, shout out to Curry. This 325 gear, this 9-inch, no overdrive, high stall converter, and I can cruise 60, 65 mile an hour down the highway. Zero problems whatsoever. Temperatures look good, almost too cold. And let's see what we added here. You can see the manifold sensors. Obviously that intercooler is working. It's dropping 20 degrees across the thing, just cruising along here. But man, everything's looking good. Got the homie Jason in the rear view, bringing his turbo regular cab short bed certified 9-second street truck. And we're gonna see if we can chase down some bests tonight. Let's get it. Okay, status report. So now I'm about to go up and make the first hit for the night. It is cold, it's 58 degrees here. I think the dew point, the humidity is a little bit high. Everybody I'm seeing is knocking the tires off of it, so I'm hoping I took enough out of this thing to make it go A to B. I'm gonna take it easy and make an 8th mile pass, and I'm not gonna try no hero shit today, so here we go. foot, 587 at 129. So we got some mile an hour there. We need to take a whole heaping ton of power out of this thing down low though. We will see. Hey, Darren.
Yeah.
I see we shop at the same store.
Oh yeah.
We're over here at Majestic Motorsports. We wrapped up tonight at the track. It was a very, very cold night. The cars are still rather moist. The track was exceptionally moist as well. A couple of 5-second passes out of this thing. It was kind of a pedal fest. And for the sake of my own sanity and safety, decided to err on the side of safety and just go ahead and call it a night. So we're gonna have a little sleepover slumber party between Darren's F-Body and my car, and they'll become best of friends for now. And then when they meet head to head, and I bust his ass.
Pillow fight.
Yeah, they're gonna have a pillow fight. They will no longer be friends. But anyway, dude, Majestic Motorsports, man, check this before it gets crazy tomorrow. We're coming back here tomorrow for the dyno day. You will be seeing more of this car on the channel and probably many other channels. This thing right here is a contender for the Supra V160 6-speed record. And they do everything from even the tilty tire hot boy goodness over here. Whatever floats your boat, as long as it doesn't sink mine. Anyway, it's late. We're going home. We got to get up early. I'm out. We're out here at Majestic Motorsports. And that's right, it is dyno day. Time to put that bad Johnny right there on the telegraph machine and see what it actually makes. I'm also gonna see if we can take home some cash. So there's a few heavy hitters here, but they actually work here, so they're not eligible to take home the grand prize. We'll see what we got. I recognize this guy. Say what's up.
Hey, what's up?
That's Brett. Amazing Corvette. We call him Corbrett. That's a good name. Your new name is Corbrett. Got some GT500 sauce going on here. Size up the competition. We got Vader over here looking sexy as ever. Billet 2JZ dry deck block. This car is going to be a heavy, heavy hitter and a contender for the V160 6-speed record. Put you on the spot. This here's Richard Homer, owner of Majestic Motorsports. Say hi to all the people.
Hi to all the people.
Yeah, that's real enthusiastic, Rich. We appreciate that. So we're gonna watch some guys spin the rollers here, and then we're gonna see if we can take home some bread today. And this is the time you can take a break, go to the bathroom, get some snacks.
12 seconds later.
Woo! She's a ripper, y'all. 42 horsepower. So there's an award for the lowest horsepower here, and that is a contender. Apologize for the extra zoom on my face. So interesting turn of events here at the battle for the lowest horsepower. Apparently, the traction control on a smart car is exceptionally smart. And with the front wheels not moving, it won't let the back wheels move whatsoever. So now you can see, I didn't think a smart car had enough power to even require traction control, but apparently it does. Jason's over here plugging his ears. Why are you...
I sent it to you.
Thank you. Dude, 1053 and higher. Dude, somebody's got jokes. Coyote Pro Charged with a P1, which is, yeah, totally. 1053 is the final number, and it still has oil pressure. That's always a good day. Boom, thank you, sir. Gotta love that. Shout out to these guys, dude. Majestic Motorsports, thank you so much for putting this on. Come down here, check them out in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Little award ceremony going on here in a second. We're going to collect our prize, our trophy. I can't win anything else, so I might as well put on the dyno and try and win something. But that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in and checking this out. I'm out. Peace.